Hello, hello. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate the script called Constraint Key. Basically what it does is it acts like a constraint, but it keys the position every frame instead of actually using a constraint. So for this example, I've got just a little animated cylinder thing, and I guess I will animate a ball, like chugging along over to here, and then maybe it can pick it up and ball can go here, and then it can go off on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, between here and here, constrain the ball to this thing, but without actually using a constraint. So to begin with, what do I want? This. I've got this little code here, and basically, and you can chuck this into a shelf icon, just for easy access. So this little bit at the beginning just ensures that the script is actually run, because sometimes May doesn't load in some of these things. So it's not necessary to have that, but if it's not right and this is not there, then it won't work. And then constraint key, and I want to parent it. So if I shrink this god awful huge window, there we go. And then I was enough time to find the frame that I want, select this, select the object that I want it to constrain to, and then shift select the area that I want to constrain in, and then run the script. What happens now is the ball comes along and goes that way. No different than if it was actually constrained. And you can probably tell, judging by all the ticks here, what's actually happened is the ball, if I move this out of the way, you can see that the ball is actually, it's not constrained per se, but it is animated as if it were constrained. And it goes whoosh across. And so this is really, really useful for lots of different things. I'm sure you can think of it yourself. And now, so that's a parent constraint. If I wanted to point constrain it, I can do that too. Just do a point constraint. And essentially any of these top level constraints, except for scale, I haven't dealt with that yet. So if I wanted to point constrain it, it's not really going to look any different. Oh, sorry, it is going to look different because that's not, yeah, what am I thinking? Because this is not translating. Hang on. I'm forgetting how point constraints even work. Blah, blah, blah. So if I was to move this over here and actually just shift this across, and then, because you need an actual translation, of course, for point constraints, and then go across like this. Now it should slide across there. Yeah. So what that's doing is this is following the position of the object, and the same is true for say orient constraint. We can orient constrain it. If I was to blast away all these rotations that are already there, and in fact, let's get rid of everything so this doesn't move, and then orient constrain it. It should be, you can see the ball is rotating in time with this. There is one constraint on this list that is not in here, and that is the pivot constraint. And what that does is it's pretty much just a parent constraint without the rotate. So if I do this and go pivot, it'll follow that around, but if you notice, it's kind of hard to tell being a ball, but this is not actually rotating at all. Like that, you can see it's not actually rotating. It's just the position has been constrained to pivot around this thing's pivot. And the other and you can select multiple objects if you want, and they can all, like if I had another sphere and I wanted both of these spheres to be, say, pivot constrained to this, shall we say, they're both going to move with it. What else? Oh, if you've got something, let's just say, let me just get rid of the actual animation off of this. And what I'm going to do is, parent this. So this is now actually parented to that. So there's no animation on the ball, it's just parented. If I wanted this to not move with this for a certain period of time, I can also select one object. And in fact, I'll do parent. If I select one object and not the other one, it's going to just attempt to constrain it to world space. Oh, and go a bit crazy with the scale. Alright, that's a bit weird, but I'll just fix that. But yeah, it's going to. Well, in fact, hang on, I should have done point. That's why. Let's try that again. Yeah, there we go. So what's actually happening is this is now counter animated. You can sort of see that. So this is still actually parented to this object. This object still moves it, but this ball is now counter animated, so it appears as though it's just sitting on the spot. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So you take this code, chuck it in a shell script, and go for it.